First.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll
Sorry,
try to translate.
Andres or Andre for the
Andre.
first name? Andre, so I can go first. Okay. So I like to give some opinion because the word that used in this discussion is pigmentation, or maybe we can call it the skin color of person. Yeah, not because for the visual of beauty or maybe their appearance gitu. So I'm agree with Mr. Hansen in this statement because uh, when we call it about pigmentation, it's not something different that we can categorize people or maybe make a person to be different from the others. So maybe this word of pigmentation maybe can be more specific, so we can discuss it later because pigmentation is something that not all of the people can be known. Yeah, the word is kind of hard for me to understand where is the host or the moderator want to give us uh, what is the statement of the moderator, which I don't really understand. But if you call it a pigmentation for the skin color, I think there is no different. Is there is not differences between people because in our school and for children, they can be a friend or maybe not really look for their appearance in the skin color. Yeah, I think that's all from me.
Okay, Mr. Andre, thanks for your argument about regarding this statement. Maybe some of you still confused about this statement, but I just want to emphasize that maybe we tend to categorize people by their skin tone, uh, actually, primarily in their uh, race, because there's so many cases that a lot of people just um, make some make some spirit about the skin tone and just do some discrimination uh, regarding this skin tone or the pigmentation. So thanks for Mr. Andre for deliver the opinion to us. And maybe Mr. Berlin, do you want to deliver some argument regarding this statement?
Well, yes, thank you for this time. Uh, firstly, we need to define in which human that we see. If the human itself has some disabilities such as blind, or they have so they cannot categorize people by their pigmentation since of their less visual ability. However, when we want to talk about the humans that they have the well visual ability, uh, I want to say that because they have that ability, they can do that. First is that, but will that be the primer what categorization? Why they tend to categorize people just by the pigmentation in the first glance? I suppose that it's gonna be dependent on the situation that they face. I've said about the condition of the intrinsic based on the humans itself. Secondly, the condition based on the situation that they face. I mean, like this. Um, when they see the academician or the intellectual seminar or meeting, they will not see any kind of they will not categorize people based on the pigmentation that they face, or maybe in the governmental level they will not see the people based on the pigmentation. However, in the common terms, seems like we go to the pub or the cafe or in the street, just as the common situation, it's normal. I mean, people tend to categorize people based on the pigmentation because they have the visual ability. Because of this kind of ability, I suppose that it's gonna be like a waste thing. They don't use it for categorizing them. I mean, like categorizing doesn't mean as the how we will do. Some action we just categorize. Oh, this is people from somewhere, or this people maybe some he is the descendant from some races, or maybe oh he is maybe coming from which place. So I suppose that it's gonna be normal categorizing just in the mind, but not for the some conduct of actions for the future. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. What incredible opinion from Mr. Berlin. Okay, maybe there's still a lot of participants that really want to giving the opinion, but I have to move on to the next slide. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay. Okay. Okay, so look at this race distribution map. So I know there are so many races spread all over the world, and there are so many races such Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, Australoid, and uncertain races. You might already know and learn about the various races that I mentioned before. Maybe you just this information as a refreshment. Maybe you can, as you can see on the screen, there are Maudi Ayuda, and I don't know her name. Maybe she is from South Korea. I forgot the name. Oh, Ayu and Maudi Ayunda as a representative of Mongoloid race. So where is Mongoloid come from? So Mongoloid is a term of a group of people from East Asia, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia, and also from Siberia, the America, and the Pacific Island. And the my all right, okay. Uh, the other woman is Emma Watson, and the woman in the middle is as a representative or of Caucasian or uh, Caucasoid race. So the origin Caucasian people came from Europe, West Asia, South Asia, and also Central Asia. And the last one, the girl below on this Emma Watson. I forgot the name is, but this is Negroid Negroid people. This is kind of people most common found in Africa. So I think there's a lot of races spread all over the countries. But I just want to narrow it, become into three major races. So there is Negroid, Mongoloid, and also Caucasoid. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, here is the here's the task for all of you guys. So you guys have to identify and mention the appearance of these three major races, or you can just sing one all of these races. Maybe you can mention about their physical appearance, like they in Caucasian people, they have sharpened eyes or big eyes and sharpened nose, and their skin tone is white, and etc. Okay, could you mention and identify regarding this slide? Maybe. Okay, Muhammad Agus, time is yours, Muhammad Agus. Mr. Agus.
Okay, thank you for the time. So I would like to guess that Caucasoid, they have
Hmm?
blonde hair. sharp nose,
Mm-mm.
blue or and most of them are tall.
Mm-mm.
And meanwhile, the Mongoloid, yeah, most of them are short and then has flat nose, small eyes, and
Yeah.
typically, yes, yeah, small eyes. And the Negroid, they have like brown skin, curly hair,
Mm.
and what else? Uh, Most of them are tall as well. And yeah, that's all, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agus. Yeah, I got it. Caucasoid has a blonde hair, sharp nose, gray eyes, as Mr. Agus said, and Negroid have a curly hair, darker skin, and for the Mongoloid, a small eyes, and so on. Okay, what else? Do you want to try, guys? Maybe for a participant that already raised hand in previous slide, you want to try to identify or mention the appearance of these races?
Yes,
Oh,
I want
Rosa.
to. Oh, yes,
Ah, time is your Mrs. Rosa.
yes. I'm sorry before because I just joined in this meeting from Mr. Kun. Okay, I will explain about the Negroid maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Negro that appear, they have black skin. So from the face, they have long nose. So with the curly hair, then always I see they have black or maybe brown eyes. It's like this. That's my explanation.
That's all. That's
Kalau ini
all,
warna
Mr. Rosa.
oh, pinter. Ini hijau. Oh,
Okay, Miss Rosa, are you done?
yang belakang.
Then the different from the Mongoloid,
Huh?
maybe if
Bisa.
Mongoloid they have white skin, yeah, white skin, and they have
Merah, ingat tuh nggak
ash.
pernah masak.
So
Ini nggak pernah masak apa
their
loh?
hair,
Warna apa? Oh,
sorry,
merah. Entah apa yang lo
I mean it's enough, yeah.
Kalau yang
Okay.
begini lagi.
Thanks, Rosa, for mention the appearance of these races. Okay. Okay, maybe
Thank
I will
you.
move to the next slide. Okay. Maybe as you can see on the screen, I have three figures of a beautiful woman from different races. Boys, as you can see on the screen, there are three flawless pictures of these girls, and I want you to pick one, the most gorgeous woman from these figures, and give me the explanation and or the reason why you choose her. Okay, maybe some of you want to pick one of these girls. Wow, Mr. Agus, Mr. Kirtofus. Okay, I will invite Mr. Agus. Mr. Agus, time is yours.
Well, actually, I can't really choose because each of them is special on their own skin tone. So, but since we are in Indonesia, I would like to choose the right one.
Hmm.
Because yeah, she looks like Indonesian.
Hmm.
And which one of the most gorgeous of these people could you give the? Okay, so yeah, I don't know why. Why? Okay, yeah, I think the right one, Malay. Thank
No. Yeah. Okay. Because we are as a part of Mongoloid. Thanks for your argument, Mr. Agus. Okay, let's see. Oh, Mr. Christophorus. Time is yours, Mr.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the moderator. I think for the first, the most dangerous is like a relative things. So we cannot choose into them, but I will choose the Malay
Oh,
because we are same as a Mongoloid.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
so that's
That's
more
all.
will be more familiar to me. That's for me.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, you are interested in Malay woman, right, Christophorus? Okay, thanks, Mr. Christophorus. I will invite Mr. Sunshine. Okay.
Why should be Kinan?
Which one do you want to choose, Mr. Sunshine?
Oh God, what should be her? Why not Lydia? Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just pick a random in Google.
Ah, okay. I guess she's that viral till it's very easy to find her everywhere. Okay. I do agree with what has been said by Mr. Agus before. I prefer Malay up this time around because um, uh, our significance in beauty appearance strongly rely on the closeness when they are when they are in our vicinity. I'm sure that regardless of the race, regardless of the skin color, pixelizations, the tone, the way of speaking, are absolutely sure that there's a significant influence that would impact us. So yeah, I currently are in love. I am in love with Malay because I was surrounded by Malay up to this time. But I never know that if just if I was surrounded, if I was in the middle of Caucasian, Negro, and Malay, there might be more options for me to be seduced or to have more significant preference toward particular person, because regardless of the races, I believe that everyone can influence us partially or simultaneously. Yeah, so yeah, each of them have their equal or hypnotizing beauty. Yeah, and the remaining options would be strongly depend on ourselves whether or not can we be influenced by them. Yeah, okay, that's my comment. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Sunshine, thanks for giving the a great explanation. And your choice is great because you are really interested with my woman. Okay, maybe I just invite Miss Muhammad Isan before I invite Mr. Alexander. Okay, the time is yours, Mr. Isan.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mauer, for your time for the times. So for me, actually, the answer is almost same as the others. I think the moisture just here they are so relative, but because I just knows I just knows Emma Watson and from the Malay, I would the character sorry, the moisture just for me is not about the beauty of the person, but more of that. I prefer the judge's person means as his characteristic, his smart, his knowledge, her knowledge, her attitude in any other etc. Because I just know the Emma Watson and from Malay, I would prefer to for to these people, not to despite from the Negro people because I'm not see the judges at the beauty one. So I think that's my answer. I prefer choose the Emma Watson and the Malay person because I really love her characteristic, her charismatic, her public speaking way in the public, and that makes me regard them as a judges persons.
Okay, so I will conclude that Bro Isan just choose both Caucasian and Malay person. Thanks for Bro
Uh,
Isan. Okay,
Academy.
let's.
Uh, actually, because the question in here not a group of Caucasian or Malay.
Oh, ah, I see it. Okay. Okay, Mr. Brisan. Thanks for the explanation. Maybe I will invite Mr. Alexander. Mr. Alexander, time's yours.
Okay, actually, my statement has been said by previous speaker previously. I just wanna deliver that the question is pretty subjective, right?
Hmm.
So our answers can be from everything, because our preference basically is built by the environment, right?
Hmm.
For example, when I always watch, see, and read, or even enjoy some movies that provide a lot of Malay people who are beautiful and so on, I am sure that I would prefer those kind of people. And on the other hand, when I always surrounded by other kinds of race, probably, yeah, I will choose Caucasian, for example. And
Hmm.
currently, there are more people who are into Koreans, right? I am sure that because they watch Koreans or watch their dramas, their movies, their musics all the time. So yeah, what I am trying to say is that our preference is subjective. It's built by our environment and so on. So I cannot choose between three people actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I just want to deliver
okay.
that
Oh,
perspective.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. So you, it depends on the environment. Okay. Well, Mr. Tommy.
Hello, hello.
So hello, Mr. Tommy. So which one that you think that the most gorgeous enough from these people?
Yeah, actually, for me, this is a simple question, I think. So we didn't do thinking too much, yeah, because you just answer which one is the most gorgeous.
Hmm.
If you are disagree person regarding the previous question, I
Hmm.
think you will difficult to choose one.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I think I always believe about the idiom that I know you ever heard before. This is about glowing in the dark. So I will choose the center one is the most cherished because glowing is always in the dark. Glowing is not be in the sign, right? So the center is most cherished in my opinion. Thank
Wow.
you.
Okay, Mr. Tommy, thank you for this. Okay, and the last one, Moonshine. Hello, Mr. Moonshine. Okay.
Hello, Miss
Okay, let's
Sabrina.
pick one of
Oi,
the most gorgeous
okay,
of these people.
okay. So, maybe I will be different with the others, and I just maybe I have the same the same answer with previous speaker, but I have different opinion. So I will choose the negro one, but
Mm,
it's not because of glowing or because of the appearance or something. But for me, gorgeous negro, it's been suppressed or been discrimination for a decade or even centuries before. So when we come to the modern era, we can see that Negro is trying to show their self, show their true of their self, and we can see that we have a lot of what is that the public figure or even we have a black president in one of the most powerful countries. So it means that they already shine enough to show the world that they have the capability to being in the same not the same being independent and powerful. So for me That's my answer. So I will choose Negro one.
Okay, thanks to Mr. Moonshine. Okay, maybe we have to move to the next slide. I have same question for you girls. I emphasize that maybe if you are just look into these boys, you have to look the appearance, not the characteristic or their personality. So pick one the most handsome of these people based on their appearance, not the characteristic or just the personality. Maybe some of you girls want to be a volunteer to give to choose one of them and give the reasons. Okay, wanna raise your hand before I just shout out your name. I want to. Oh, maybe Miss Rosa, just wanna try to answer. Yeah.
I think I will choose from one the most handsome,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Korean, yeah,
Yeah.
because
What the reason?
uh
You
they
just
they have good skin, so look at handsome, then they so cute as same with our race. They are Asian,
mm,
and then if I see Korean boys, they will be same with Indonesian people, like that maybe from my reason.
okay, Miss Rosa. Thank you for choosing one of them and give the explanation because you choose him because he also Mongolian, right? As like
Yeah,
as Indonesian people. Okay, maybe some of you want to choose. Maybe I will invite Miss Bella. If Miss Bella, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Miss Bella? Oh, maybe she has trouble in their connection. Okay, I will invite. Hmm? Okay, what else? Maybe Miss Ina. Pick one of this guy. Hello. Is my voice audible enough for you guys?
Yes, it is.
Hmm. Oh, maybe there's no response from girls participants. Okay.
Oi, wait.
Maybe uh maybe some of you from the men, if you are just uh become another man into another world, which one of this guy that you want to be from another races, because there is a Caucasian, Mongolian, and Negro. Maybe do you still want to try to answer this slide? Ah, Fairu Salsabila. Okay, the time is yours, Mrs.
Okay. Well, I think
Hmm?
that uh, the most handsome of those people, um, um, wait. I think there's no one of them
Hmm?
is the most handsome because I like the national one.
Hmm? Yeah.
Yeah, because uh, the guy with the exotic skin tone is more hot than there. Oh my god, I'm so
The guy
I'm not
in the
just,
right one,
I'm,
or
yes,
just hmm?
I'm not just there. I'm not just one of them,
Okay. So
but
you just
I,
choose
yeah, I choose the another one.
the another one. Maybe
Yes,
local people like
yes,
Malay Mongoloid.
yes. I think
Oh,
yes.
okay. Thanks, Mrs. Virus. Okay, maybe I will invite Daniel down. Okay, time is yours, Mr. Daniel.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mawar. I think I don't need to be a girl to say which one of these people is the most handsome one,
Hmm?
and I will choose the Negro, the black guy one, because if I could choose, I want to be born in what race? I think I really want to be born as a black man
Hmm?
because I think that I really like their physical traits, such as their body is really athletic and they're tall and they have a glowing skin color. And I never seen any of them have like skin problem like acne or something. So I think the black one is the most handsome one, and I really want to be one of them if I could.
Okay. I just wonder that one of these participants want to be born again, become a Negro people. Thank you, Mr. Daniel Dowd. Okay, Miss Nurlita, could you mention one of these guys who most handsome, and could you give the reason? Time is yours, Miss Nurlita.
Hello, good
Um,
evening.
good evening.
Okay, I'm first time to join
Hmm.
this group, but uh, I will choose
Mm.
Korean boy.
Did you
Uh,
know him, Miss Nurlita?
yes, I know him because I think this is my old boyfriend. No, no,
Yeah.
it's joke. Uh, his name is Taehyun
Oh, Taehyung.
from Tae Taehyun from BTS.
Oh, Taehyung from
Taehyun,
BTS.
yes, right.
Pardon me. Taehyung.
Taehyun,
Taehyung.
Taehyun.
All right. Okay. Why you
Yes.
choose him, Miss Nurlita?
Okay, why I choose him because once I like Korean, I like K-pop, I like everything about Korean, and then I like skin Korean people, and overall I like about Korean,
Okay.
and this is my reason why I choose this guy.
How about the appearance? I mean, you were really into the Korean drama and Korean pop, but uh, did you even uh, did you even like the appearance of Korean people or Korean guys, like their shape, their body shape, or their skin tone?
Uh, I like body shape, skin
Mhm.
tone, and gentleman. I think Korean boy is gentleman because maybe I always sing from drama Korea, yeah, because in drama uh all all guy is all guys handsome, so I think maybe yeah I'm falling in love about Korea.
Okay, thanks, Miss Nurlita, for giving the reason why you choose Taehyung. Taehyung, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Taehyung from
Thank you.
BTS, right?
Yung.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. So uh I want to move to the next slide. Okay. Yeah, guys, there's a figures in appears on your screen. So let's talk about the history of slavery in America. Well, I would like to tell you the history of slavery in South America, particularly in Brazil. It starts from 16th centuries until 19th centuries. Brazil imported more slavery from Africa than any other countries. And in this case, maybe Brazilian prevented black people from accessing land, the labor market, and also the education institution, which is the education is the most primary sector to gain some knowledge or insight. As a result, people who didn't know how to read, didn't know how to write, and couldn't vote in the politic institution mostly come from black people or African. To sum up, American people such as Brazilians who have light skin tend to have power to discriminate against people who have dark skin. Question. Yeah. Does the history of slavery and white supremacy in America shape our perspective that assume, I'm sorry, that assume that the most fascinating races coming from white people? Okay, I just want to know about your perspective regarding this question. Maybe some of you want to give the opinion about this history and the relevance of fascinating races coming from white people regarding these histories. Maybe, okay, Mr. Agus or Mr. Christophus. Mr. Christophus, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to deliver your argument into this question?
Okay. I think for my arguments, this is shape our perspective that that we can think the most respectful race is the white race or maybe the Caucasoid, and the second is Asian, and the third is Negroid. That's make us think that white people or maybe European people is smarter more than us, and we cannot defeat them. And also as an Asian, we can like discriminate like people who have dark skin from us, like Negroid, that we can in the daily we can like find a jokes that contains black people, like the country in black people, like Zimbabwe. People think it's a joke, like Zimbabwe, and it's a little racist because, and also because Zimbabwe has inflation, and that's a black people country, and it's often used as a joke. And also what we facing white country or like European, like it was a great country and we should live there. I think that's for me.
Okay. That you just mentioned about there's a hierarchy status from the races. The first one from the highest status is come from European or Caucasian, and the second one is Asian people, and the third one is Negroid. Okay, thanks for Mr. Christophers. Okay, I will invite Mr. Tommy to give and deliver their the perspective or the opinion regarding this question.
Yeah, actually, this is human history, right, in our universe. Yeah, because as we know, I think this is a common knowledge for us. A long time ago, black one or African is a victim from the slavery, right? White people assume they are the highest human, yeah, they are highest, they have the highest supremacy in this universe. But actually, if we are agree about that, we have the same position as a human, we have same position, we have the same responsibility to make our world is more happy, our life is can be have the good relationship. I think pigmentation, yeah, or skin tone is not relevant anymore. So I think, yeah, in my mind, I'm really disagree about that slavery. So even though that's our dark history, right? Long time ago. So I think, yeah, please, even though we are, what you say before in the previous slide, we are a visual, we are a visual, yeah, we are visual creatures. We, most of them have the typically a specific color to decide which one the most churches in our eyes, but this is not just, it is not related, it is not related with the humanity. I think that's my opinion. It's Sabrina. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Tommy. Okay, maybe Mr. Shaifullah. Hello, Mr. Shaifullah.
Yeah, Miss Sabrina.
Okay, you just want to adding some points or information through this question, or just have the opposite, Mr. Tommy?
Yeah, I think I will agree with this statement because I believe that the history has a tight bond or tight connection to create the certain mindset to the people. Like maybe if we can go back when we are when we were in, in colonizing of Netherlands or England, and the invaders always made us to obey to obey their rules, to obey their command, to obey their will, to create the roads, to to build the buildings, or maybe to build the bridge, to build the harbor, and many else that. And this mindset, it will descend to the generation in the future. And maybe uh, just a little of us still have this mindset, like maybe you know a little part of us uh, are still working in the overseas to be, a household worker, maybe household worker. And they wanna, they want they want to mm, they want to be asked or to be comment by their, how to say, wait a minute, boss, boss or manager. I think it's in this household, yeah, in this whole the context. And yeah, it is relate it is has a connection with the history of slavery and white supremacy in America. So because of that, maybe the American today, the American nowadays always have a perspective to, or have a side, have have an insight to the black people or to the Negro, to utilize them to to be to be want to be wanted, that they want to be, that they want, maybe they ask them to, to work some, I think, um rough working, like maybe, oh my god, you know, something like that. So I think there is a connection between the history and the perception or the assumption or the mindset until now about
Ah,
the history of slavery. Yeah.
thank you. So I just want to sum up your ideas that there is the mindset of categories people based on colonialization is still exists until now. Thank you, Mr. Maybe I will invite Mr. Alexander. Okay, Mr. Alexander, time is yours.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, your voice is clearly.
Okay, thank you for delivering this picture and perspective and statement, since it just shows that the racism is not embedded right in the society. Racism is not innate for humans, since some people say that black people are inferior, right? Because of their black, so they are not able to enjoy everything or most of the things that most people have, especially the white people. So if we take a look at the history, so yeah, it came from the history of America, okay, for to be exact, because previously, after Europeans immigrated to America, they needed a lot of workers to grow the lands, to grow the plant and foods over there. Therefore, they were trying to find some labor powers who are better, who are able to um, manage the lands that existed back then. Therefore, they imported so many workers from Africa, mostly black people, and okay, as a result, they became really inferior to the society at the moment, even until today, right? So the history is embedded to the history of America, basically. Hence, if we can see some data and research, most of black people are not able to enjoy good educations, right? They are known as poor people, okay, mostly, even though there are some celebrities who are black, who are already famous at the moment, but we can't deny that there are more most of black people are still inferior in the American societies. Therefore, several years ago, which was in 2020, if not mistaken, there were some big movements, right, imposed by black people due to the murder of George Floyd, uh, who was a black person at the moment, who were killing, who were by the American police, and the movement spread around the world. Yeah, and some people also mentioned about the racism that most Asians experience at the time. And I think that the problem is complex, quite complex, because the racism sometimes is also used by the politicians, to cover the real problems happening in the society. For example, because of the pandemic, a lot of people are going poor, right? So to cover the problem, to hide this problem from the society, some irresponsible politicians make some excuses or blame Asian people for uh, um, people or societies that take over your jobs at the moment, right? It's also similar to, I guess, some people in Indonesians in which they blame Chinese, for example, for people who take over their jobs. And I think it's really embedded in the policy and systems, economic system. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Nor, for the statement. That's all.
Okay, thanks to Mr. Alexander. Just deliver the perspective that this case is still embedded from the economic and the politic side. Okay, maybe Mr. Sohi, who's he me? So what should I call you, Mr. Sohi Huzini?
Okay,
Do you
thank you.
want, yeah, you want to deliver your ideas regarding this question?
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. In the past, talking about the slavery in America, we couldn't deny that white people and black people were very different in case of their treatment and also how they behave to black people. It's still also questionable for me why at the time in the past white and black must be very different. I mean, what was coming in the white people's head? Why they should underestimate the black people? They make the slavery to black people, especially in Africa. But for nowadays, discrimination is not coming from, it's not literally coming from the culture or white people or where they are from. They generalize the context of background with with the country, where we could see where I have the examples. Maybe anyone here are from Koreans. So
Maybe yeah.
there is a Blackpink members. There is one of Blackpink members from Thai, who's the name Lisa, right? I saw Lisa last time on the internet. I searched. She is very beautiful, but one day, she got discrimination. Just like she she get many haters from the Korea. I don't know. Actually, she's a superstars in Korea, but unfortunately, because the background is not the same as other members in Korean band, so she is headed by some societies in Korea. So now, in conclusion, nowadays to see the discrimination, not to see background of a culture, the white people or black people again, but generally now people can discriminate people from the background of the country. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Huzini, to give your perspective, another perspective about discrimination. Yeah, you just mentioned about the discrimination to others people, not only from their culture or their skin tone, but nowadays just come from their nationality. Okay, maybe Mr. Berlin, do you want to adding some statement regarding Mr. Huzini perspective or just having upside ideas?
Oh yes, I will just the outside.
All
I just
right.
want to just give my own opinion about this about the assumption, maybe it's only in my imagination about the racism. Actually, was happened since a long time ago, and it's kind of one of part of the human historical since they emerge in this world. I mean, like this. I suppose that humans has their own behavior, seems like jealousy or feel something bad with the others fortunate. So because of this kind of jealousy, they will tend to do many kind of the anarchism. And it's gonna be happen when they make a categorization from their visual ability to make this kind of the racism. Such as this, I will not say that it's only happened in the 16th century. I mean, like it was happened since the Rome Empire, or older than that, about the slavery, when the huge kingdom make a huge invasion towards a country. Normally, they will tend to make the inhabitants in their colony to be their slave or to be their additional army. So I suppose that it's not only happened in the period of the America slavery towards the black people, but it's also happened uh, in the previous period of that. So because of this consideration, rather than I said that this kind of supremacy emerged from the America historic, it's emerged previous of that, and maybe it's kind of one of the natural behavior from the people, since they have the jealousy and seems like feel bad categorization of it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Berlin. Okay, maybe because the limited time, I have to move on to the next slide. I'm so sorry for Moonshine, Mr. Moonshine and Mr. Andre and Miss Nurita. I have to move to the next slide. Okay, let's move to a great discussion for another slide. Well, now we talk about beauty standard. Yeah. In the previous slide, we just talked a lot of races, different races all over the world. So we talked about the beauty standard or beauty ideals. Well, first I want to define what the beauty standard is. Basically, the beauty standard or beauty ideals are and their consequence are social contract, and means that what people take to be normal and fixed facts about the world are actually determined by social norms, the culture, and also the social interaction in our society. And the beauty standard becomes a phenomenon in the society. Okay, look at the screen there. I just have two headline news from theguardian.com and the Jakarta Post. The first one is, okay, maybe I cannot see it. I cannot see it. Sorry. A beauty contest was judged by artificial intelligence, and the robot didn't like the dark skin. And the second one, yeah, it's pretty common in cosmetic and skincare local product. So there's a local ads just appearing the foreign people and become ambassadors, brand ambassador of their products. Says the headline news, local ads, foreign face. Why local companies are using Korean artists as a brand sharing the ideas or just respond this headline news, and what's your perspective about beauty standard regarding this phenomenon? You want to try elaborate the idea about this headline news? Maybe Mr. Moonshine, do you want to give the opinion about this headline news?
Oh, okay, maybe I will try. I prepare my answer for a previous slide, but it's okay. So for from my perspective, I think it's how beauty company or beauty corporation try to shape their market. I just saw the from the chat column that say how someone really admire of Korean Idol. It showed that when you use or when you hire a Korean Idol as a brand representative, it means that you have the chance to spread out your value of your brand or try to reach more buyer from your brand. And it's correct because that's how company or business, or we should call it lingkaran setan, work in this world. And also how to say it, like companies or entertainment world is it's created to follow the market or to follow the trend. That's why to what is that to what's that to join the market or to push your market in some area. It means that you have to know the trend or what the people likes, in some case like Korean Idol and etc. And like dark skin, it means that the robot or AI is created by a human. The problem is the human, right? So it means that the human who created the AI, they don't understand what dark means or black colors means. Because I remember someone said like as long as dark is represented as a bad things or as a devil or evil, it means that the racism will never stop. So if you are join some movement, for example, like for a justice movement, uh, you will see that all people will wear black, right? Why black? It's not about because injustice always comes to the black. It because black is a color that makes all colors become one. So if you see the justice, it means that black is the representative of justice. It means that the phenomena here is because of the how market works. And it's really annoying me sometimes, but it's common in business because you have to make profit, right? So if you want to make a profit in Indonesia, just use Korean Idol. It's really effective movement. It's really an effective move to push your brand become as a high the best seller or something like that. So yeah, that's from me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks to Mr. Moonshine, already deliver in a great way. I just want to emphasize you guys that if you already answer or just deliver your ideas, so you have to inactive your right hand because I really confused what the next participant that you really want to deliver the ideas. Okay, thanks. Okay, I will invite Mr. Berlin to give the additional statement from Mr. Moonshine or just deliver the another opposite statement from Mr. Moonshine. Okay, time is yours, Mr.
Yes, thank you. Maybe it's gonna be like on the commentary about this kind of question. Yes, the first is about the judgment from the artificial intelligence. Well, you know that the base of the artificial intelligence is the deep learning based on the data that given by the giver of the data itself. Then, or maybe they could the mining the data from the source such as the internet. So because of this consideration based on the capability of the artificial intelligence, maybe it's like the AI try to pops up about the tendency about of the people based on the trends that happen in a certain time. That is my feeling. So it is maybe it's responded by the some of the locals what companies to make it as the consideration to see which one is the best influencer for their product, so they will use it based on the trends that happen in a certain time. I mean, like this, it's not about the racism or maybe the pigment what condition of the human in a certain time. I suppose like this one. If we see about the advertisement from the time to time, is it okay, or maybe is it really the well tendency that mostly of the influencer in the front of the media are always white people or not? I suppose not, because every every what each has their own trends, and they should follow the trend itself rather than they make their own trend. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Berry. Okay, maybe Mr. Tommy just want to give your perspective or your ideas regarding this headline news. Okay, Mr. Tommy, time is
Yeah.
yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Sabrina. I think for the first one, it's just buying time, I think, yeah, because yes, I agree with Mr. Andres said before. AI, it's very rely on the data that will be learning before. If they have some difficult problem to understanding the dark skin, I think that's just the current situation to they have limitation of the data. And then in the further, I think they have a possibility to understand the dark skin as well, I think. And then for the next, yeah, the second one, it's just, yeah, it's the business strategy, I think. If we have famous people, famous person in Indonesia or in the local company, especially in Indonesia, for example, as we know, maybe a long time ago, we have Mbah Marijan, right? He is a strongest person in Indonesia. So even he was passed away, but he still as a brand ambassador for Tolak Angin Kuku Bima, ya. So I think this just relate with depend on business strategy, I think. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Tommy, I got the ideas that for the second headline news, that it depends on the brand it is. If the company just advertise their own cosmetic or just maybe skincare, they tend to find the brand representation from the other race, like Korean, to push the to push the engagement all of the viewers and the buyers, right? Okay, maybe because I have a limited time. I'm so sorry for Mr. Andre, Miss Rosa, and Miss Nurlita, and Miss Wafda. I have to move to the next slide. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Yeah, okay. There's a interesting because as you can see on the screen, you see the cover magazine from Froggy. Yeah, in the left side, Caucasian face just become a model in this cover magazine, and the right side, you see the Korean looks from the cover magazine of Vogue. Okay, well, didn't you realize it used to be Western? Okay, it used to be Western as a beauty standard worldwide, But now beauty standard worldwide or beauty ideals is Asia. Is Asia that we can see it from the phenomenon surrounding all of us that such as advertisement, skincare, and makeup commercial and magazine just making any some yeah just making some advertisement with Korean looks. Yeah. Uh, okay. Maybe why this phenomenon could happen and why does the beauty standard still come from come from with people with a light skin? Okay, do you want to give some perspective about this statement about beauty standard are heading to East Asia, especially in Korea, before the beauty ideal just they used to be Western. Okay, maybe Miss Nurlita want to deliver your ideas about this statement and answer this question. Miss Nurlita.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Miss Nurlita.
Okay.
Okay, based on this statement,
Mm.
why this phenomenon could happen? It used to be Western as a beauty ideals worldwide, but now beauty standard is heading to East Asia, especially South Korea.
Okay, why this phenomena could happen? Yeah, because this is 2020 maybe next 10 years again or 20 years again, maybe we can change about the about the apa ya, pandangannya bisa is different gitu loh, bisa beda lagi untuk 10 tahun ke depan, because when I'm a child, Indian Bollywood ya, Bollywood it's a role model, and now this is a Korean era, but who knows, we cannot. This is my opinion.
Thanks, Narita. Thanks
Yeah.
for your ideas. Okay, maybe I will invite Miss Rosa. As you know, as I know that you are a big fan of South Korea. So, how about your
Thank you.
perspective on this statement, Miss Rosa?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Why this phenomena could happen? Because we know that Indonesian woman, especially girl, we all want to be get the light skin or maybe white skin, yeah. So we know from the competition of Miss Universe. In Miss Universe, I think in every country they have many criteria or they have standard beauty standard, how to be a beautiful woman. They have the good skin or like skin, and this be standard in our country. So as Indonesian people is beautiful when they have the white skin. As we know in our country, maybe I'm so sorry, this is from the black skin in Papua, maybe. I think they have the standard how to be beautiful or beauty woman, but in our country, especially in Miss Universe competition, always we show the people from white skin. Why it's always be done in our country? Every human in our country, they want white skin, so they follow I mean, they do O plus to get the white skin, and they take sample from Korean people, because we know that Korean people, they so white, and from the Korean boys, they also have white skin. It's give inspiration to our country, in our human, in especially in Indonesia. So the beauty standard that's taken by like skin like that. I think. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rosa. As a participant in this internet discussion, maybe I'm really sorry for Mr. Berlin and Mr. Christophorus. I have to move to the next slide. And don't worry, I have another great question for you guys. We want to talk about the effect of beauty standard. Well, as you can see on the screen, well, sorry. Ah, so here's the effect of standard beauty or beauty ideals on our mental health. Based on the survey from the Mental Health Foundation in March 2019, have shown that such beauty ideals can often lead to psychological and mental issues. Uh, as you can see on the screen, there's two figures in here, and the right one in 10 women have self-harm because of their body image. Uh, and also 1 in 4 men have felt depressed because of concern about their body image. So yeah, maybe it's the fact that if we consume a lot of entertainment that show the visualization of people from another races that different from us, we tend to imitate their style, their beauty standards. So it really affects the mental health. So maybe all of you guys want to mention what are the psychological effect because of beauty standard, and could you mention those mental issues maybe? Okay, there is Mr. Andre. Could you mention the psychological effect from beauty standard, Mr. Andre? I will invite you.
Okay. Sorry, because for this topic I don't really. Yeah, my hand is still raised from before. So
Okay.
sorry.
So,
Yeah.
so do you want to try, or just I just invite another participant?
Yeah. Maybe you can pass to the another
Okay.
participant. Maybe I
Okay,
can.
Mr. Andre, I will pass to, yeah, thank you, Mr. Andre. I will pass to Mr. Nanarandu. Okay, Mr. Narandu, time is yours.
Hello, Mrs. Sabrina. Thanks for uh, bringing this topic. It's very interesting topic for me. This discussion, yeah, this is about how to judge racism in my in our opinion, our point of view. But maybe just tell me if in this forum, in this discussion, this will be a Korean fans, but actually I didn't know why. Yeah, from the last slide that you tell us that the beauty standard moved to is ASEAN, yeah, is ASEAN to be become next role model to be a beautiful standard. But I don't know why the survey it is true that your data is true. I mean, it based on data, right? And then uh, in my opinion, Korean is like, I don't know if I false or not. Maybe everyone can correct me. In my opinion, I see how Korean people is like being addict to surgery, right? What is plastic surgery? It's I I just wonder to know why people in Korea being addict to plastic surgery. I mean, is the real his or her face? And then why we choose a Korean to be a beauty standard? If we know that they're not the real I mean the real face, the real beauty of them. Nah, yeah, this is the true phenomena already happened in this era, right? Yeah, I don't know why we move to this beauty standard to Korea. But actually, I'm not haters from K-pop or K-idol. No, I just I just want to share my opinion, my yeah, because based on your presentation is let's just compare the beauty standard from Negroid, from Europe standard, and then ASEAN standard. Yeah, the fact is Korean K-pop, Korean idol is have not, maybe I don't know, is this a true face? Is this a true her on his face? Maybe if we rely there is a plastic surgeon, just so it's gonna be our beauty standard. Is a big question for me especially. Thank you. I just might share my opinion.
But I'm sorry, Mr. Narandu,
Yeah.
but I know that you want to deliver about the previous slide, but you want to mention about the psychological effect from beauty standard. Maybe
Yeah,
some
this is
of us just want to change their styles, like their idols or their favorite actors, and it really affects their
yeah. I just read some fun fact, that in Korean, yeah, it we know it's really in what is rivalities in being actress in Korea is very high, and then it's so. I just read, yeah, as just from information, this make some actress or actor is like kind of a psychology mental under pressure, and then it's become suicide. Yeah, maybe because their profession to be K-pop idol is like being mental, her or his mental health is not being healthy. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I want to share. Yeah, it will affect to K-pop or role model to become beauty standard. Who become beauty standard? I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, Mr. Narandu,
Thanks,
for
Mrs.
your.
Sabrina. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
you're
correct me if
welcome.
I wrong. I sorry
It's okay.
if
It's okay.
there is maybe what is in English tersinggung.
No, no, really.
Yeah, just my pure opinion.
That's okay.
It's
Just
okay.
don't worry. Don't worry. And
Thank you,
especially,
thank you.
and we have to see another perspective from another perspective. All
Indeed.
right. I will accept whatever your argument.
Thank you,
Okay.
Miss.
Thanks.
Thank you, Miss Sabrina.
Okay. So I will invite Mr. Hu. Mr. Hu, do you want to mention about the psychological effects from beauty standard?
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for the chance. Essentially, I reckon that psychological effect, because what has been mentioned by the previous speaker massively, although people say that beautiful comes from the light skin, so that the case comes from they are not comfortable with what they their dignity, so that they will feel that their physical, their mental health is not disrupted, but is disrupted. And I tend to what the people said with what their dignity on. Yeah, I personally go to with we have to be comfortable with what we have as our dignity, as our part of body. Dark and white is natural. It's maybe we can separate it. Dark is exotic and white is outside on the person, such as this data. Beauty is natural, so we have to be comfortable with what we have in our body, as we never pursue and we never request to the God to get beauty or to get dark or white. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ku, you just mentioned that we have to be grateful what our body shape and or maybe the skin tone and so on. Right. Okay, Mrs. Jerome, could you mention this question? I mean, could you want to try to answer this question?
Okay, I would like to answer briefly. I think I agree with the previous. From my perspective, I think the major problem that caused by this phenomenon is the law of self-esteem, because obviously we can change our gene, right? Maybe we can change our body or our skin tone, but we can change our gene. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. And I think this is not only affect the appearance from us, but it also affects our money management. It suddenly somehow forces us to spend more for those products. But I believe there's nothing wrong by using the products itself, but it just because the people stereotype, of course, particular people, and also these lows of self-esteem not only caused by the people don't the people who don't use I would like to take example people who use skincare. In this case, not only the judgment that given by from the people who use skincare to the people who don't, but also I have few friends who really into organic things, like she's really into nature and she's vegetarian, and somehow she also do some judgmental thingy to the people who use the. So it's basically what we call it, two sides of knife, if I'm not mistaken. Not only you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this all about it's all about our choice, right? Whether you using these products or you choose not to. But care beating each other. I think that's my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Jeremy Pauline. Okay, maybe Mrs. Wafda, I will invite you for the last participant in this slide. Okay, you can you hear my voice, Mrs. Wafda?
Yeah, Miss. Yeah, I can. Am
Okay.
I audible?
Maybe you can answer this question.
Okay, the question is, what are the psychological effects of beauty standard? Okay, I will mention maybe someone can be depressed, yeah, or it will reduce her or his self-esteem or self-confidence, and the apa sih parah it can do you hear about have you ever hear about eating disorder?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah,
Eating
I
disorder.
think eating disorder maybe it because someone apa ya, someone try to get ideal body, so yeah, like that. Okay, maybe it's from me. Thank you.
Okay, you just mentioned about the eating disorder and depressed and others mental health, right? Thank you, Miss Swafda. Maybe Mr. Saiful and Mr. Andre. I'm real sorry that I have to move to the next slide. Okay. Okay, let me give the definition of racism. Before I move to the next slide, I want to deliver what the definition of racism. Okay, so racism can be defined as belief, thoughts, and action based on the idea that one race is innately superior to another race. Okay, this is the question for all of you guys. Maybe we already know about beauty standard and we already talk a lot of specific race. So does beauty standard win what specific race as a part of racism or just a social preference? You want to answer this question? Maybe for all the participants, could you would you answer this question? We talk a lot of beauty standard and one specific those phenomena that we already discussed before. Is it a part of racism or just a social preference? Okay, ideas or your perspective into this question before I shout out the name of all of you guys. Anyone to be volunteer to answer this question? No? Maybe I want to invite Mr. Saifullah Putra. Mr. Saifullah? Okay. Okay, regarding this question, do you see beauty standard with one specific race is a part of racism or just a social preference?
Okay. Actually, I'm still thinking about the answer, but it's okay. I will try to answer it. From my perspective, I think the beauty standard is different with the part of racism because beauty standard is a preference to to be benchmark, to be a benchmark for the woman, especially for the woman, to look perfect in the social life. So I think it's different with the racism because the racism is talk about the ethnic, talk about the on the skin, talk about the origin, and the racism doesn't talk about the beauty. I think it's the different, it's different part or different context the racism.
Okay,
Thank
thanks
you.
to Mr. To deliver your ideas. So the answer you just choose preference, right? Okay, maybe Mr. Andre wanna deliver your ideas into this question?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, Mr. Andre.
I think beauty standard is not something that you can call it racism because racism is something when you look someone is below as your standard, but not for a beauty standard. Yeah, for pigmentation is something that you can call it racism. Because when we say about the beauty standard is a goal that when you it's a goal that's something that you want to achieve but not to apply on the other person, so it cannot be something that you can make some racism about the others beauty or maybe the appearance. Thank you.
Okay, thanks to deliver your ideas into this question, Mr. Andre. Okay, so maybe all of you still choose that the beauty standard with one specific race is not a part of a racism act, right? Okay, okay. We already here is the last slide that I could deliver before we conclude our discussion. Maybe the racist beauty standard phenomenon might affect our mental health, and so the question is, can we eradicate standard for all genders, and how to tackle racist beauty ideals and stereotypes in our societies? Maybe some of you want to answer this question about the solution, how to tackle this phenomenon, racist beauty ideals and stereotypes, even though there are some participants just have a perspective that is a preference only, not the racism. Oh, Mr. Tommy, do you want to give the solution into this case?
Yeah, actually, I totally disagree. If you set
Yes,
up
sir.
a standard, beauty is just only maybe just relate with some color or some skin or some what we call people from uh, uh, Caucasian or Korean is you have the standard is just only one, and I propose you must have the more than one standard. Maybe for the person have the black skin, this is the standard. The person have the white skin, this is the standard. And between beauty face and inner beauty, this is the standard. So I think that's my proposal about that one to avoid the standardization of beauty. And I'm because I believe if you just look, beauty is the just the visualization of what we looks in the first time. I think that is totally racism for me. Thank you, Ms. Satu.
Thanks to for your solution into the discussion. Maybe I will invite Mr. GNR. Mr. GNR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so
How about your perspective, or maybe you can give the solution into this case?
yeah, maybe not solution. Yeah. The question is, can we eradicate beauty standard for all genders? I think the answer is no. No, we can't. Because what? Because we know we have like a competition, like a Miss Universe competition. Direct or indirectly, that competition is make us like big as a civil as a audience to look is become a beauty standard. Oh, there is a beauty standard in America. Oh, there is a beauty standard from Africa. So that competition is honestly will make us to make our new stereotype. So if the answer can we eradicate, I think we cannot, because that even is always come. That even is always come, and then just being a prestige, right? Prestige event that every country want to join, participate. So yeah, the answer is we cannot, because that event always yearly, annually held. Yeah. And how to tackle the resist beautiful ideas? It is a big problem. Yeah, like Mr. Tommy said, maybe we cannot fully tackle the resist issue or beauty standard issue, but it will be our what is differential of how to we make a point of view about a beauty standard. And then I think it will be good things if we can blend it in. Maybe Mr. Tommy point of view is something like that. Beauty standard is I like a Japanese people, and then maybe I like a Sundanese. It's like beauty standard for me, and for Mr. Tommy it can be different. But it will be nice if we can blend it, and we can how we what is tenggang rasa, what is in English? Make what
Tolerate.
is yeah, tolerate in our opinion. Yeah, but this the big issue is about racism, right? There I think there is not tolerate about being racism in this country especially. Yeah, but in beauty standard it's okay lah. We cannot judge woman. Maybe for me this woman is beautiful, and maybe for Mr. Tommy it's not beautiful. It's like a standard, like a common woman. Yeah, we cannot judge that issue, I think. Yeah, thank you, Mrs.
Okay, I got that your point, Mr.
Yeah.
GNR. Oh, because we already the end of the session. I want to conclude this discussion. But before that, I really sorry for Mr. Saifullah question because the our time is limit, and I want to move to the next slide. And maybe some of you want to sum up our discussion tonight. Okay, maybe. Is there anyone to be volunteered to conclude our discussion before we close our discussion? Is there anyone? Or just Mr. Saiful wanna try to conclude our discussion?
May I, Miss Sabrina?
Okay, Mr. What is it?
Sunshine.
Who is it? Oh, Mr. Sunshine. Okay. Okay, Mr. Sunshine.
Okay, it's definitely
all of
up
the,
to, okay, Miss Saiful, Mr. Saiful. Yeah, you get it.
Oh, no, go ahead, Mr. Samhan. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
I have a bad.
Okay, so in our indefinite assumptions on the changing perspective due to immeasurable factors that might indicate the perceptions of the beauty, I can say that we need to become more tolerable and becoming more inclusively understanding toward the differences itself, because otherwise it would be hard to accept the value of distinct beauty. Everyone has their own perceptions on the beauty itself, and if he wants to live coexisting with others, then that means it's only acceptable only if we can embrace each value, each characteristics of beauty that is upheld by many types of people. I think even though that's so far from what I can define or conclude, I hope that it can wrap up our discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What a beautiful closing statement from Mr. Sunshine. Well, I want to sum up this discussion. Well, beauty can bring us pleasure, and but we must be careful not to let the beauty standard or beauty ideals enslave us, and how to deal with this kind of phenomenon. Whatever race are we, and our skin tone or our body shape. And the second one, we have to respect each other, even though they are come from the other races or different from us. Maybe so. That's all that I could deliver for tonight. And I really thanks to everyone who already joined in tonight discussion. And moreover, you already share the thoughts and the ideas and opinion regarding the race and beauty standard. So massive thanks to everyone. Maybe that's all that I could deliver. Wassalamualaikum, and I will give it back to Mr. Angga. I mean Mr. Alexander as a host.
Well, thank you, Ms. Mawar, for sharing our discussion tonight, and for everyone who have conveyed their statements on this issue. I do appreciate your perspectives and thoughts on this topic, everyone. So as always, before we call it a day, I have some feedback. Okay, as a host, I am accountable for making some feedback, because the purpose of our discussion is not only about sharing thoughts and ideas, but also learning English, right? So basically, I am sure that some people already know this issue. Okay, let me inform this in bahasa. Okay, first, pertama kita punya their self. Ya, ini kesalahan umum ya, harusnya themselves. Kemudian ada more hot. Kalau dia satu syllable harusnya hotter, ya. Dia cuma satu syllable, jadi pakai er belakang katanya. Then we have I'm not choose. Remember choose. Ingat choose adalah kata kerja transitif, jadi dia bukan nominal sentence. Sehingga kalau dia negatif harus pakai do not atau does not, ya, depending on its subject. Kemudian ada it's not gonna happen. Itu harusnya it's gonna happen. Oke, sorry saya lupa kasih pembenarannya. Karena happen maknanya sudah terjadi, jadi tidak perlu lagi pakai be. Oke, langsung aja. It's not gonna happen, it will happen, atau it happens. Oke, bukan it is happen. I really like, well, some people use this most of the time. Probably you might paraphrase it to bisa diparaphrase pakai I'm so into, ya. I'm so into watching K-dramas, for example. Then from until, ini bicara collocation ya. Yang benar adalah from itu pasangannya to. Misalnya from 1995 to 2001, for example. Being addict harusnya being addicted, ya. Kecanduan kan ya. Kemudian operasi plastik tadi sudah banyak disebut. Tersinggung itu offended. Kemudian soal pronunciation. Topik kita hari ini adalah racism. Ingat kalau ada A diapit sama huruf vokal R and C ya, dalam hal ini itu diucapkannya A gitu ya. Racism. Sama kayak membuat ya, bukan make tapi make. Jadi tengahnya tuh A. Apalagi yang lain. Yang A diapit sama consonant. Ada take ya, bukan take tapi take ya lambatnya. Apalagi danau bukan lake tapi lake ya. Bake and so on. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, it's about pronunciation, and that's all that I could deliver for all of you tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this tonight's discussion. And before we end our meeting, it's time for us to take some pictures. So I want to ask you guys to show your most handsome and beautiful face because our meeting, or all of us will be uploaded on our Instagram and YouTube channel. So please, guys, show your handsome and beautiful face. Okay, thank you, everyone. All right, Mr. Saifullah Putra, Mr. Yanwar, Miss Mardia Sultan, Miss Ain. Okay, please show your video. Okay, Mr. Sunshine, are you ready?
Yes, ready. Okay. Let's wait for a while. I'm going to count to 5. Okay, so everyone, please make yourself ready. Okay. Okay, so yeah, on the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One more time. Oh, Mr. One more time. I'm going to save this one. Ada different style. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once again. One last time. Okay. Now, do, set. Okay, guys. So, come back to Mr. Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. Sunshine, for taking some pictures. So yeah, we are gonna send those pictures on our group. So thank you. Before we end, as always, it's time for us to say our jargon. When I say Ota community, you need to say yesterday, we say tomorrow. Okay, so Ota community.
Yesterday, we say tomorrow.
Okay,
Bye,
thank you so much, everyone, and
everyone.
see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
for having me.
Good night, all of you.
Picture.